Hello, everybody. Welcome to spoiler-free content. Would I like to play first? I would love to play first with Modern Delver. Yes, folks, Modern Delver. Playing with this hand is suspect, so I am going to mulligan. This is also suspect, and now I've also lost the ability to have a extra draw on turn one. Ugh. Guess I got a mulligan to 5. I really can't keep... Alright, that's fine. I really can't keep... I should tell you what the deck is first. First, it's Modern Delver. It's using Pyromancers, as I prefer that version of it. And the way that this deck works is you just try to cast a bunch of spells to keep your opponent from doing anything, while simultaneously just getting value off of those spells. There are a lot of things that are cantrips, like Remand and Shadow of Doubt. You have Young Pyromancer to make every spell also make a 1/1 token. You have Snapcaster Mage, which gets extra value. So it's basically just trying to get really good value off of what you're doing. Yeah, and you also have things like Lightning Bolt, which are really cool. Oh, is this burn? Great. I have like the worst hand against burn. Would I like to play 2 life? No. I think I'm just going to pass the turn. Actually, let's give him... No, I'll pass the turn. I'll probably just Snapcaster for no value, just to get some pressure on him. Because if this is burn, it's... depending on the version, there's mono red, there's red white, there's red white black, there's red black, blah blah. The whites are for things like Lightning Helix, and the black is for things like Bump in the Night. So let's see what he has. Looks like a bunch of Temple of Triumphs. I like the temples in Modern because I feel like they're very, very good at things like these type of combo decks. Because these combo decks really do require you to quote unquote go off. So yeah, I'm not going to flash in the Snapcaster as I said I was going to because he has a creature out that blocks it. So I'm just going to Shadow of Doubt. Sweet. So I can just kill that and not take the 3 damage off of it. And also have a mana leak. Perfect. So basically what I do in this matchup is I just try to survive. It's basically just a war of can I deal more damage to him faster than he can deal it to me. And that means I have to use I have a lot of removal in the deck. I get rid of it in game 2 because it doesn't do anything against this deck. They don't typically play creatures, even though this guy is clearly playing a bunch of creatures. Probably should have mana leaked it, but I was too busy trying to have a conversation with you guys, but that's fine. I can mana leak that. And then I can snap back the Lightning Bolt to kill the Marauders. Yeah, Pillar Flame will not interact with his deck unless he plays a Goblin Guide. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go Snapcaster Lightning Bolt it right now. Just get rid of it. There's not really a need to surprise the opponent here. He's not going to try to do something and you can really get him. You know? It's a very straightforward matchup. If everything was sorcery speed, it wouldn't really change it at all, except for the fact that you could maybe play around mana leak and stuff a little bit better. But alright, so he must have all instant speed stuff in his hand. That or he has all land in his hand. I am perfectly fine if it's the all land issue. But I'm going to try to attack with my Snapcaster Mage. This might prompt a response from him where he, Lightning Bolts it, Lightning Helixes it. Any number of terrible, horrible things he could do to this poor Snapcaster Mage. It looks like he's not doing anything. That or he's considering his multitude of options. Nope, he's just going to take the damage. Alright, so in that case, I'll run out a Delver and a Grim Lavamancer and kind of make him start having to decide what he's going to shoot at with his spells. Because if he should be going for my face because he wants me to die quickly because he doesn't really have any sustainability besides the top of his deck. But at the same time, Boris Charm's the other one. But at the same time, yeah, and Lightning Helix. So there's the white coming out. He really needs to deal with these if he doesn't have anything. Now, he could just have Lightning Bolt in hand, at which point it doesn't matter what he has. I doubt he has something that does 1 damage. Yeah, I'll reveal that card. And if he has 2 spells, no, that would have been wise of him to use them there. Because he knows I'm drawing a mana leak. So, if he had instant speed stuff, you know, get it in while he could. Alright, so that puts him to 6. I'm just going to pass. I have mana leak, and I can also Grim Lavamancer stuff. Yep, I get the bolt. Do you have another spell? Literally any spell in his deck, I think, gets me right now. We'll pay the red, and we'll get rid of the Pyromancer and that. Alright, so now I'm well protected. And I'm not even signaling anything by attacking with the Grim Lavamancer because I have to exile 2 cards. And I currently only have the 1 in my graveyard. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage next turn. Given if he plays a spell here and doesn't have an untapped land, it has to be a 1 mana spell and he has to have an untapped land. That's the only 2 card combination he can have that gets around Mana Leak and Spell Pierce. If he does have that, then he gets me. Alright. He didn't play an untapped land, so... Alright. Well, I can Spell Pierce it, right? Yeah. And then I win this turn, because I have the Pillar of Flame in hand. Sweet. Win game 1. That was efficient. Definitely bringing in that. Relics don't do anything. Sword of Fire and Ice doesn't really do anything either. Ghost Quarters don't do anything. Anger the Gods don't do anything. God. None of these things do anything. I guess I could try to keep him off of his white or black mana with the Spreading Seas. But let's see what we have to get rid of. Pillar of Flame is useless. The 2 Electrolyzes are useless. Because he typically doesn't play anything that cares about that. He also... I don't think he's playing fetches. As you can see by my deck, I'm playing a budget version because it doesn't have any fetches. So... And the 2 Blood Crypts are just because I want red mana sources that are also able to cast Shadow of Doubt. So let's go with... I guess I can add the Spreading Seas to the deck. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, this is fine. I have a turn 1 play into a turn 2 play, although I probably don't want to take the 2 damage off the Steam Vents because he is playing a burn deck. So I'll probably just go turn 2 Young Pyromancer. Turn 3, I'll go Gitaxian Probe, Grim Lavamancer, and just make a bunch of 1/1s. So I would not like to mulligan. Mutavaults. That's a very good card in that deck. The reason I didn't mention it before is because my version of this deck that I have doesn't have Mutavaults because Mutavaults are $1 billion right now because they're really popular in Standard. Everyone's playing the monocolor decks, so. All right, so he did hit his other land. And he's going to spend 2 mana to deal 2 damage to me. Fair enough. Now I could pay 4 life here to make 2 1/1s and stuff, but that seems incredibly risky for me. Okay, so he's transitioned into a more creature-based version, which is good because I just took out all of my creature removal. Sure, let's look at the top card of my deck. It's a Spell Pierce. So I don't get to draw a card off a Goblin Guide. I feel like he's going to be fine with his Mutavaults attacking. I can take 4 here, and then next turn I can Grim Lavamancer, Gataxian Probe. I can get all the value I want off the Young Pyro, and then I can have blockers for both of these. So I will refrain from blocking for this turn. So let's see what you have going on in your hand. So yes, Rift Bolt, Lava Spike, Sacred Foundry, and a Temple. So my Spreading Seas is going to be a 2-mana cantrip at this point, unless it deals with the Mutavault, which it might or might not, depending on what happens. So that's fine. All right, drew an island. I think I just probe him again, stick with the original plan, and then I'll play out the Grim Lavamancer because that then allows me to do 2 damage to him the following turn, or to a creature the following turn. And I didn't see anything here that he would be able to play at instant speed to interact with my guys. Oh, a Delver. Would I prefer a Delver out? Probably. All right. Because Delver is my beatdown. It's how I win games. I mean, it's even in the name. And this allows me next turn even to go land, Snapcaster, snap back the Gataxian probe him again, draw a card, and then be able to Grim Lavamancer as well the same turn. So that's the Temple. Yep. Sorry. I have nothing in response to your scry. What do you see? Nothing you like. Plays another Goblin Guide. And he animates the Mutavault. Alright, draw me 2 cards, Goblin Guides. Just put all the lands into my hand. I don't know why I stacked his triggers for him. Another Spell Pierce? Jeez. Alright, so I have 1 Spell Pierce. Let's double block the Mutavault and a Goblin, and we'll just single block a Goblin Guide with the Young Pyro. Yes. Love to reveal the card. Alright, so I have double Spell Pierce, so I'm in a pretty good spot. We know he has 2 Rifts and a Sacred Foundry, so we know perfect information about his hand, because he played the Goblin Guide, which is what he drew off the top. So I think I'm going to attack for 3, finally doing damage to him. Then I will... I can just Spell Pierce, Snapcaster, Spell Pierce if he tries to Lava Spike me. But if he goes, yeah, I can go Riff, Riff, Lava next turn. And then I can go Spell Pierce, Snapcaster, Spell Pierce to counter it with only using the one Spell Pierce. But I also want a blocker for Goblin Guide. This is going to be a very, very close match. Alternatively, I can Snapcaster Gitaxian Probe to draw a card right now. But we already have Perfect Information, so I don't think we really need it. And drawing a card I don't think is going to get us anything too great, because we took out a lot of our removal. So what I'm going to do is just pass the turn. Alright, plays it tapped. Attacks me with that. I really do have to block it. Well, we'll see what I put on top of my library first. Ah, sweet. I draw a land. Yeah, I think I just have to go Snapcaster and block. It was probably greedy to attack with the Insectile Aberration. And as that's a sorcery, I get no value off of it, but I do get to ambush the Goblin Guide. He might have been willing to use a Rift Bolt on it, but I kind of doubt that. Oh, he's suspending the Rift Bolts now? So he's not using the Lava Spike. Okay. So we don't know what he has in his hand. It very well may be a Lightning Bolt. But we have a million conditional counterspells, so let's see how this goes. Alright, so he's Rift Bolting me. I'm pretty sure I just want to Mana Leak this one. Because if he taps out for it, then I get to Spell Pierce the next two things he does this turn. And if he doesn't pay for it, then I get to counter it anyways. This one, however, I cannot counter, because even if I throw both of my Spell Pierces at it, he can just tap out for it. Alright, I need to get rid of that. I will 2-for-1 myself, sir. So there's the two Rifts and the Lava Spike. Alright, and then there's the Lightning Bolt to my face. So I go to 6. So we could have another Bolt type effect in hand. That doesn't really do much right now. And if he has a Bolt effect in hand and he draws one, well, then I lose. If he doesn't, then we get to see more cards. So let's see what he does have. Well, there's one. Shard Volley. Yep, you got me. Alright. I was going to be able to deal 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so I wasn't going to be able to even kill him the next turn anyways. I think I made the right choice. I think he just hit a run of cards that I had to deal with. Yes, and I will play first. Wow. I really don't like probing on turn 1 against Burn, because it's 2 damage. But, wow, and I have Vapor Snag still in my deck? Oh my god, those are like the worst. Why didn't I take those out? Alright. Alright, so we're probably losing this. But I have to mulligan that hand. based on the fact that there were all those terrible, terrible things there. I would not like to mulligan. I do have a Spreading Seas for his Mutavault if he does have one. So we'll see how this works. Goblin Guide. Great. Drew me a card. Thank you. Alright, let's just go Delver. And then I'll Lightning Bolt the Goblin Guide when it attacks. Searing Blaze. Well, that sucks. Let's clear the board then, shall we? Little odd that he left in Searing Blaze. I only have like a handful of creatures. So, but I guess that's something you wanted. Before you yell at me at home, yes, I know this doesn't work. Oh, just players can't. But needed something to do this turn. Hopefully this freaks him out and he's like, oh my god, I don't get to scry. Found something he liked anyways. Let's go untap land, Spreading Seas that. Another Delver. I think I'd rather have up the Mana Leak, because this is probably the last turn that I'm going to be able to use the Mana Leak on anything. Oh god, that's like the worst thing to Mana Leak. I guess it does save me 3 damage, and that's what Mana Leak's going to do anyways. So yeah, I think we lost this one, but that just goes to showcase that burn can be really effective if your opponent stumbles on stuff, which it appears did. Yeah, the last 2 games we just kind of did a little bit too much dirtling. We didn't put enough pressure on the guy, and we didn't have enough ways of dealing with his threats. I mean, we're not out of it by any means. We're going to 7. He's going to have 3 cards in hand, but that doesn't mean we're dead. We still have Snapcaster Mage with Mana Leak in the bin. We have Lightning Bolt available to us. Yes. Alright, so in response he does something, but then I get to do something as well. Which is counter that. Alright, she's down to 1 card in hand. He has yet to miss a land drop. So it's possible he has land. It's actually more likely than not that he has land. Alright, so he buys back the Hellspark. I can't do anything about that counter-wise. I mean, preventing 1 damage doesn't change it. He tends to do damage in chunks of 3, so I need to keep it at like 7 or 4. Oh, but he had the 4. Oh god, he had one of the few cards that actually does 4 damage. All right, hey, that was fun though. That was a good time. Yeah, I was apparently dead anyways, according to the top of my deck. But anyways, so yeah, that's some Modern. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Chromantic carnage that occurred earlier. I certainly did. And yeah, we'll be putting this up, and hopefully everyone's super happy fun times in your life. Keep up the good work, everyone. You're doing awesome. awkward ending because I don't know how to end videos.